Howdy, howdy. I'm just trying to set myself up and make sure that we can see. It would help if I got out the way, wouldn't it? That looks okay. Hi, who's there? Right, we'll give it a minute or so. Hi, Chrissy, brilliant. I hope you've got your mat down and ready to do a little bit of moving with me. I couldn't resist but come outside because it's just lovely, even though it's a little bit of a fresh breeze, but just so nice to be outside. Right. Give it another minute. Great. Right, who else is with me? Oh, it's so weird. It's so weird to sit here and stare at a screen, just trying to see who's coming up. Great. Well, I'm going to run through a few of the basics again today, just a few of the foundational things, because I do assume people may decide to start this journey at some point and not go back to the first video, maybe just start here, and that's absolutely fine. So whatever we're doing, I want you guys to really think about not trying too hard. Don't put yourself into a position where you're trying to muscle through an exercise. That is my most important sort of little bit of advice I can give you, and I learned it really late on in my Pilates journey. Hi, Lynne. Lovely to see you pop up. And for many years, I powered through my Pilates because that's kind of how I'd done most things. I enjoy the hard work, I enjoy the challenge. But then I realized that, well, I wasn't progressing anymore. I wasn't getting more supple, I wasn't getting more flexible. And I'd kind of plateaued. And it took a bit of working on myself and trying some different things to realize that I was just trying too damn hard. And it's difficult. It's a difficult balance to find because the exercises are hard and they are demanding, and you want to get it right. But you know, when I am cueing you guys, the pictures that I draw, the cues that I use, I'm drawing you images of the perfect world scenario. I don't expect I'm going to get there every time or anytime soon, but it's to have that intention, to know what the intention is. If you've got an image in your head of what it's needing to look like or what you're aiming to do, that intention sets the tone. That's enough. And keeping your eye on the prize and then just finding your easier way to do it, that is the key. Right, so I don't know about you guys popping up here now, but having spoken to a few people today, it seems like quite a few guys have found themselves with a bit of a tight back over the weekend. And so I thought, well, actually, I'm going to go back to doing something for the tight back. So we did a little bit of this kind of stuff this morning with my Zoom group as well. I just want you guys to lie down flat on your back. I wonder, right, okay. So just allow your pelvis to rest back onto the floor, like your whole body. Just allow you just to relax. Just feel the weight of you just sinking into the ground. Let the chest relax open, and as you breathe, I want you to notice what parts of you are touching the floor, and when you breathe in, can you increase the coverage touching the floor in the back? So expanding into the back of those ribs. And breathing out. Think of your whole belly as a big old Easter egg. And you want to breathe into that whole belly. And breathing all the air out. Just allow your chest to stay a little more open. When you're breathing in, feel what that offers you in line of space. Breathing back, forward, sideways, down into the belly. Just one more time, just that really conscious opening up the lungs. And as you breathe out, bring your right knee up to your chest. Clasp your hands over the top of that shin, drawing the leg into your body. And then the knee up towards your chin, and just gently rock that knee over and out, across and open. Just a small rocking, just kind of feel that your left hand might be pulling the leg across a little bit, opening that SI joint in the back, and coming back into the center. We're going to flex that right foot, and we're going to point the foot, and we're going to flex him, and we're going to point him, and we're going to flex it up. And from there, we're going to extend that leg up, push out through the heel, and then bend that knee, bring it back into your chest. And again, just pushing the leg up. It's as much as you can do in this moment. My perfect world scenario is with your foot right above your pelvis. Nice straight back of the leg, and bending that knee down. One more time. Pushing that leg up, heel to the sky or to the ceiling, and then peel to point your toes, peel to flex, again peel to point, work through the balls of the feet, spread your toes out as you peel them back and push out the heel, and again extending out through those toes, and then peel back those toes and push out the heel. Give me a circle of the ankle, so the leg is not moving, my arms are holding my leg still, and that ankle is circling around, just limbering up the lower leg, and then going around the other way. And I'm conscious of just trying to draw a clock face with my toes, not skipping any numbers on that clock face. And then bending that leg back to tabletop, taking the left hand across the outside of the right hip, right arm out to the side, and just give it a gentle crossover into that spinal twist. I've told you guys before in previous episodes, on this side I tend to support my leg because it's a little bit more vulnerable than the other side. And just breathing down the right side, and that is my tool to find my most effortless, easiest way to go into the stretch, is to provide support. So whatever you need to listen to your body and take it. Breathe out as you come back into the center, rolling the pelvis back into the middle. Just one more little gentle pulling of that knee, and then lengthen that leg back out. You might notice a difference in the two. Just give yourself a moment, feel anchored again, everything's straight. And as you breathe out, folding that left leg in, hands over the top of that shin, pulling the shin down into your body and knee up towards your ear. And breathe, flexing your left foot and pointing your left foot. And I'm trying to articulate the feet. I thought I had a piece of grass there, and peeling to point. I'm peeling to flex, and then I'm going to extend that leg up into the air as much as I can, and then bend the heel, bring it back down. And again, trying not to tighten the quadricep or pull up the kneecap, but work from the sitting bone to the heel, pressing that leg up, and bringing the leg back down. One more time, push out through that heel, stabilize the leg with your hands, articulate the foot to point, flexing those toes, spread them out, push out the heel, and peeling to point, and peeling to flex. And if there are any blokes out there who are brave enough to actually do the Pilates, I'd love to hear a shout out from you guys, because I'm grateful to hear from all the ladies. Thank you. Just curious if any men have taken the plunge. Circle the ankle around, and if you are, don't think the footwork is all sissy stuff and not for you, because that's absolute rubbish, because it absolutely ties in with those lower leg muscles which attach to the upper leg bone, other way around, and then the upper leg muscles that attach to the lower leg bone, and of course we're creating movement through those, those bony bits, so of course it's relevant. So we're going to go for a nice bend, bring it back in towards you, and then stretch that leg out, take those arms back overhead, breathing in. circle the arms wide around the outside. Bring them down next to your hips. And we're going to do that again. Inhale, lifting it up. Just stretching up through the ribs. And exhale, circling it around the outside. To the outside. Let's just stop at a nice crucifix. We're going to walk the legs back. And we're going to bring the right leg up to tabletop. Getting your back flat on the floor. Left leg up to tabletop. And again, into our little spinal twist, we're going to open the right leg to the right side and just feel the weight pouring into that right bum and into the right thigh. The left leg will join in. It'll come across as and when ready, when it's encouraged over. Keep that left shoulder open, breathing, and bring the left leg back up on that exhale. Feel how you're pouring the weight back into the center and going left knee open to the left side. Feel how your bum is squishing into the floor. Then the thigh, and it brings the other leg across. That right shoulder stays on the ground, opening the chest. And then bringing it back, bringing that right knee up. Oh, I forgot something, didn't I? I beg your pardon. I forgot the warm-up spinal twist on that other side. Forgive me, forgive me. We're here already. Right leg open. Pouring the weight onto that right side, bringing the left leg across. Try and keep that left shoulder open. And as you breathe down into this length of rib cage, of lung, and let it soften down, you can feel how that stretches further into the chest tissue. And we're going over to the other side, inhaling it over. Breathing down, again stretching into that tissue on your side. Bringing the right knee up, breathing out, sliding those ribs down, left knee up, bringing it to center. Fold those knees into your chest and just give it a little hug. We're going to then lift those feet up. We're going to grab hold of the toes, knees on the outside of the hips. We've been doing this one, rolling over to one side and then rolling over to the other side. And rolling over and rolling over. Why? For your vestibular system, that's why. And then going back, also for your nerve endings along your spine. It's really quite calming. I know at some point, if you stop fighting with it and just find how you push into that heel to come back. If you don't have your feet above you, you won't get over. If you've got your legs down here and you're, that's not going to happen. Or it might happen, but it won't be as yummy as this version. And then bring it back into the center. And fold those knees back down. I think I've rolled down my mat. Bringing the feet down onto the floor in line with the sit bones for pelvic curl. Almost left the garden. Heels in line with those sit bones. Pelvis back into neutral, toes facing forward. Hands down, breathing in. Breathing out as you curl those hips back. Breathing out from the lower belly. Let it push your back into the floor, no bum clenching. Standing into the feet, knees reaching forward over the second and the third toes. I've been putting this little sequence into a couple of our sessions. Breathing in, breathe out as you soften the throat, the breastbone, the rib rings, just lengthening those knees forward, trying to release the big gluteals and just feel this lovely junction of the hamstring and the glute tendon. And again, exhale, rolling those hips back with as little effort as possible. No butt clenching. Stand down into the floor with the tripods of your feet, knees extending forward. Just find that beautiful stretch through the front of the hips. Now from here, just a little bit more pressure on the right shoulder than the left. I'm not tilting, I'm not leaning. I'm just sensing myself heavy on the right, and as I roll down, softening through the rib rings, I'm focused on that strap of my back, the right side, just coming all the way into the floor. And then releasing it back to neutral, breathing in. Breathe out, roll up through the middle. Standing into the feet without clenching the bum, knees reaching forward over the second and third toes. Rest a little heavier on the left shoulder blade. And as you breathe out, lengthening those knees forward, rolling down through the left side of the body into the lower back. And then releasing it back into neutral, into the center. Breathing in, breathing out as you roll it back up again. Maybe if you did the last couple, I think 2 sessions ago, we did the shimmy coming down. So I want you to shimmy from side to side, just shimmy on that vertebra that you're on and slowly coming down one vertebra at a time, giving a little wibble wobble between each and every little vertebral disc. Right down at the bottom I got a bum wag, and then coming all the way down. Oh, it's yummy. Taking a breath, breathe out, roll it back up again, standing into those feet. Keep your big toes down, activate the backs of your bodies to stretch the front. Lifting those arms up and back, reaching back. And then peel yourself away from those fingertips, reaching your fingers back as you soften down through the front of the body, into the floor, and back off, bringing those arms back down to the sides. Okay, hands are going to come around behind the back of the head. Inhale. Exhale into chest lift, tucking those ribs in and flattening the tummy. My pelvis didn't move, I didn't rock the pelvis, and lower it back down to the floor. And again, because when I curl up and I tighten these hip flexors and that happens, my pubic bone tilts up, that's my hip flexor tightening, the psoas. The psoas originates in the front of your spine, from the base of your ribs, comes down through the notch in your pelvis to attach to the inferior trochanter on the inside of that thigh bone. So if that muscle is tightening every time you do a chest lift, every time you do a crunch or a sit-up, if that's just firing super hard, for one, it's taking the emphasis away from the actual abdominals. For two, it's going to give you a pretty tight back, and tight in a way you don't really want it to be, because you're not doing leg lifts, you're not actually even doing hip flexion, you're supposed to be doing a fold in the spine. Breathing out, sliding those ribs down, gently letting the back drop into the ground, pulling the belly button in, and lowering the head back down to the floor. So provided you're still okay, we're going to add the heels, so we're going to curl it up and lift the balls of your feet, digging in your heels, to pull your heels towards your bum, getting your back further into the ground, and then lowering the toes down as you lower the head down. Again, exhale, curling up into that chest lift, and feel like you're gently pulling the heels towards your bum, pressing the back into the floor, and then lowering it back down to the ground. So I need to ask you to reflect on that. Having just discussed the hip flexors, is it the hip flexors or are you doing your hamstrings? And lowering it back down. It's very interesting. Going again, for me. And exhale, curling it up. Things I find interesting. Hey, pussycats. And lowering it back down to the ground. Now, we're going to do the little chest lift with a twist to the right and just flex the right heel, pushing the heel into the ground and pulling it towards you, and then lowering it down to the floor. So there's downward pull pressure. Exhale to the left, twisting, down with the heel and pull pressure. And then lowering it back down to the ground. And again, exhale, curl it up, downward with the heel, pull pressure, little twist. I'm not twisting my pelvis, just around that Barbie doll, Ken doll joint around the waist, at the base of the ribs. And exhale, little twist, and pressing that heel down, pulling the heel in, feeling the back of that leg, and lowering back to the floor. Let's add a little knee lift. So we're going to exhale, twist, lift the knee towards the elbow, stretch the leg, rotate back to the front. Look at that leg. And rotate at the base of the ribs, and extend it out, and look forward. Yeah? And again, and exhale. Wobble, wobble, and coming back. My lower tummy muscles, these Toblerone muscles, are keeping the pelvis still, while the upper abdominal muscles have a completely different instruction. And you can understand why. You fire up your brain first. And exhale, get that vestibular system doing something interesting, so that it can compute all this and do really good instruction to those muscles. Lower it back down to the ground. We got two sides, unfortunately. Exhale, curl it up, fold the left knee into your chest, a little twist. Don't overdo it with the elbows and the throat. Coming back center, and again, and exhale, that little twist, crossing it over. coming back center. Somewhere in my thoughts, I'm thinking, keep some weight on that right bum cheek. It shouldn't really feel like it's rocking. And exhale, squeezing like you need a wee, keeping that concave little lower tummy and knowing that you're doing it. And again, intention, exhale, rotating. And then coming back. And lowering the head back down, bringing the knee back in. Taking those arms back overhead, feet in line with your sits bones. Let's stretch the tummy with a pelvic curl, rolling the hips back, standing into the feet, and peeling it all the way up. Knees reaching forward, try not to just clench the bum. And breathe out, rolling away from those fingertips, curling down. Okay, right. So we're going to take that left leg out straight. We're going to bring the right leg in. And we're going to stretch it up into the air, holding on to it. Just knock it back. Just gently rocking it back. Try and leave your bum heavy on the ground, your knees straight if you can. Think easy thoughts. Make it effortless. If it hurts, don't think of it as hurt. It's just think happy things. Think of yummy things. And now we're going to climb the tree. So we breathe in. We breathe out. We're going to curl up and we're going to go hand over hand, scooping in the tummy and walking up that tree all the way to the top. Flex your foot. Hang your fingertips off your toes. Feel that lovely scoop in the tummy and then pull yourself up and lift up nice and tall. Try and get onto the top of your sits bones. I'm going to go back down again, so walking hand over hand, scooping in the belly, control the articulation of the spine as you're rolling it back down to the ground. Good. Again, inhale, exhale, climbing up it. I said this morning, think about being a sloth, how a sloth moves ever so slowly and gracefully along, flexing those toes, hanging off the toes, scoop in the tummy. And then pull yourself back up. Feel that extension, opening the chest on the top of those sits bones. And then start to tuck it under, hanging back again, letting go of the toes and easing yourself back down onto the floor. Hold it there, let go of the leg and extend the toes, extend the fingers and reach away. The idea that there's a piece of elastic between your hands and your foot and you're just stretching it away, and the further away it gets, the more tension there is on that elastic. Back of the leg is pushing down to fight the resistance. And take a moment to again just reflect on how that feels. I'm going to just quickly shift into more sunshine. Because I'm a big puff, that's why. So I'm going to shift that. Do you still have me there? Kind of. Okay. Alright, shall we carry on going? Left leg. I'm a little closer to him. Left leg up into the air, bend it in, stretch it up, and a little hammer and back, softening that hip and just knocking it back. That right leg just stays on the floor. There's a sense of that heel being anchored to the ground. It's one of the parts of you that aren't moving. And hold, ready to climb, be the sloth. Climbing up gracefully, scooping the ribs down, pulling in the belly button, and peeling yourself up to flex, reach for those toes. Hang back, scooping in the belly, and then lift yourself up, 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 onto the tops of those sits bones, shoulders down. I know that's hurt. I'm not going to say that's hurting. I'm just getting a cramp in my hip. And that's okay because I acknowledge it and I'm backing off of it and I'm going to roll back down, coming all the way back down to the floor. Okay. So sloth-like graceful movements, breathing up. Here I come. Hang from your toes. Deep breath into the back. back up and sit tall. Shoulders down. Letting go and climbing down the tree. All the way down to the bottom. Bend that leg in. And then stretch that leg back out. Smashing. Walking those legs back to our little bent position. Feet a little bit wider than your pelvis. This is one of my self-indulgent ones. Arms to the side. Rock the knees to the right side. Just let them fall. Taking a deep breath. Right leg comes up first. Start rolling back, pouring the weight across your right buttock. Don't resist it. Just let it gradually nudge the pelvis back into the center. The left leg will follow, and then they'll just flop to the left side. Breathing in. Left knee is going to start the motion, rolling it back over the bum. Feel that pressure on your bum. It feels like a little massage. It nudges the pelvis across. The right leg will follow. And just flop. And again. And if you are that supple in those inner turning of the hips, that your knees are banging into each other here without tension in the groin, then your feet need to go a little wider. Okay, because you don't want to bash into each other and disturb the flow. Left knee starts first. Sometimes you just can't feel the rhythm because the one leg wants to preempt what the other leg is doing all the time. One just is so bossy, it can't let the other leg take charge. But this is a really good practice of the biomechanics of the pelvis. Just kind of letting one lead and one follow, just receiving proprioceptive information. And quietly just giving your body your attention. Coming back into the middle. Lovely. Fold those legs into your chest. We're going to do just a little rocking forward and back. Lifting the bum, lifting the chest, lifting the bum, lifting the chest. Yeah. And one more time. Coming into that sitting position. And I'm just going to sit up nice and straight. Ish. No, I am going to sit really straight. And I want you just to think about this for a minute. You could be sitting in a chair right now. You could be, and I know this is not the case when we sit in our sofa, because I'm just as guilty as anybody else. I've got a saggy sofa that I just slump my body in. But when you're sitting for long periods, just put your hands under your bum. It's quite painful. There are two little bones there. Can you feel them? They are called, well, technically called your ischium, but your sitting bones, because you sit on them. And when you sit on them, you can stack your body. When you're sitting with your pelvis like this, you might think, oh yeah, I can feel bones under my bum. But look at how this is not stacked. How this is all kind of hanging, the ribs are slouched forward. That makes my shoulders want to slouch forward. And some of us, with our spinal positions, may even find that we do this. So, find those sits bones right on top of your sits bones. And then just think about lengthening up the spine. Bring the rib rings on top. You might have seen that. From my ribs being out here, I want to just bring my ribs down. And do that again. From out there, rib rings down and let them stack on top of the pelvis. And then bring that head back on top of the tailbone. Think about the shoulder blades sitting on your back. Take those fingertips out to the side and in line with those hips. And we're just going to inhale, reach them out to float them up the sides, not going forward with the hands, not going back, just up the sides, like you are slicing through the space, through the air. And then bringing those arms wide and down. Let the shoulder blades just then gently move on your back, like little wings, like little butterfly wings. Your shoulder blades follow your hands. They're going fanning out across your back and then tilting their little faces up to the sky. And then they're going out, flattening against the outside of those ribs. And as they come down, the bottom points will tilt out slightly. Taking those arms up, keeping those wings on your back. Yeah. Exhale, scoop in the tummy. Fold forward, not from the hips, but around over the tummy. Deep breath down into the base of the spine. Peel it back up again. Sitting on your sits bones. And then finding that bucket is perfectly balanced and rebuilding your spine on top of it with your head right at the top. Inhale, reach those arms out the sides. Let the shoulder blades move on your back. Scoop in and up through this lower belly as you fold forward, tucking those ribs in, breathing down into your back. Breathe out as you roll it back up. Get your pelvis, your bucket underneath you, and pour the rest of your spine upright into that bucket, building it erect like a skyscraper that's not going to fall over. One more time. Inhale, lifting up. I want to get this mental image of how it feels ingrained, that every time I go to get up off the couch or off the chair from a sitting position and I come to stand up, I might think to myself, hey, where's my bucket? And is my head over my tail? And let's swing those knees around. Alright guys, fingers spread apart, nice flat back, going into some protraction and retraction, just sinking in and up out of those shoulders. I'm just going to show you what not to do. So, not this. You see how round my upper back went? That's my ribs pushing up. When I flatten my ribs and I just move my whole long spine, it's really my humerus bone pushing up against my scapula, allowing the chest to drop. This range of motion without the hunching and the bunching. I think I started with a couple of little centimeters. Now I've got a lot more range, but it's take your time. Come back into the middle of that with a nice flat back. Press out with the hands, rocking backwards and forwards, letting the pelvis widen at the back. Just keep in mind, I did decide to do this one for the people who have got these tight backs and just need a little bit of something. So maybe not the most difficult workout today, but Thursday's one will be fair. Thursday will be a full hour, and it is a recorded session, so it's all ready and raring to go. Okay, so we're going to be coming around in a circle. Coming around in a circle and just feeling the weight transfer through the hands, through the fingers, as you're circling around, keeping that back nice and flat. What am I doing? I am ingraining in my head what it feels like to keep my spine long and flat and not bunch up in those ribs. Other way around. I neither want to bunch up in the ribs, and neither do I want to let those ribs fall out. And 2, and 1. Coming back into the center. Turn your fingers out so they're facing the sides, and we're just going to rock from side to side, making it interesting on our wrist. Swing them around all the way so that the fingers are facing your knees. And a little rocking backwards and forwards, letting your bum widen as you rock back. If you do tutting, or if your kid dances with me and does tutting, good stretch for their wrists. And then come back one hand at a time. Just turn it over onto the back of your hand. Put the back of your hand down and then stretch that arm. And then swap it out. Other side. Back of the hand down. And just stretching that arm. Please don't forget your neck muscles. Start up there. So that's tension. Yeah. Tuck under the toes. Angry cat curl, tucking the tail under, scooping up the lower belly. Squeeze like you need a wee. Deep breath down your back. Don't clench your bum. Articulate out from the tailbone. Feel your sits bones widening. I'm still breathing out, so I could still be easily contracting my pelvic floor, by the way, even though I'm rippling in the other direction. And again, exhale. That's my easy trigger for that pelvic floor. Breathing out and feeling the diaphragm soften. Inhale down that back. This is hard to hold my pelvic floor. And exhale, then rippling it back out. And here I can engage it again, squeezing like you need to stop mid-flow. Good. Let's take it from here into upstretch, pushing down into the balls of the feet, butt to the sky, nipples to the knees. And then bend those knees, scooping in the tummy. Let the bending knees round the back, pulling the hips down, tummy resisting. And then release it back into your happy cat. Breathing in. Breathe out, push down against the balls of those feet, bum to the skies, nipples to the knees. Heels down. Breathe. Bending those knees, stretching under the toes as you fold the knees to your chest, scooping up the belly, pull the tummy away from those legs as you control that lowering, and then releasing back out into your happy cat. To thread the needle, reach one hand through, ear and shoulder down, pushing back up, other side, ear and shoulder down. Try not to rock back with the hips, and again, side. Bring into upstretch, push those hips up, butt to the sky. Rock forward into your plank, find your hand position for that plank. Lower tummy, right, we're not going to get that, we're not going to let this hang out, we're going to scoop right into that. Remember that little piece of sellotape we spoke about maybe one day sticking there? Press out with the hands. I want to find this position every time, so take a mental photograph what that feels like. Exhale, upstretch. Inhale, plank. Exhale, upstretch, bum to the sky. Inhale, plank. I doubt there's many of you that haven't seen that little TikTok challenge, since you are social media peoples. So shall we have just a little start at the beginning? Elbow, elbow. Elbow, elbow, hand, hand, hand. Elbow, elbow, jump, jump, jump. Open, close, and then we were going to just touch each shoulder, because I have nobody's hand to slap. Okay, let's go again. Elbow, elbow, hand in hand. Elbow, elbow, hand in hand. Open, close, shoulder. Now left side first. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, jump, jump. Open, close, left, right, one more time, and left, right and left, right and left, and right and left, right and open, close, shoulder, and lower those knees, and push back to pose of a child, and shake it out, and take a nice deep breath down into that back, rolling it back up. So aside for that last one, it probably wasn't great for those of you. If your back didn't loosen off before that, just make sure that you give it a nice wriggle now if you did all that jumping around. But hopefully you modified if you needed to modify. So just apologies, I won't be here live with you on Thursday, but I am prepared and I have a video for you. So at 4 o'clock on Thursday there will absolutely be a class, and I'll be joined by two of my lovely practitioners from Belston class. So thank you very much to Jan and Tamsin for letting me post the video. And guys, enjoy. Have a great week. And I'll see you live on Saturday again.